Hello and a very warm welcome to the brand new edition of Parliament This Week, your weekly roundup of all important developments in Parliament. I'm Kriti Mishra, and now let's begin the show. In a first, the centre has come up with a law through an ordinance for tackling air pollution in the Delhi National Capital Region and setting up a commission for it. The Commission for Air Quality Management in the National Capital Region and adjoining area has an objective of implementing a consolidated approach to monitoring, tackling and eliminating causes of air pollution in Delhi NCR by coordinating with the state governments. Take a look at this detailed report.
The ordinance was signed by President Ram Nath Kovind on Wednesday. The ordinance makes pollution an offence with a jail term up to 5 years and a penalty up to 1 crore rupees. Under the ordinance released by the Ministry of Law and Justice on Thursday, the Environment Pollution Prevention and Control Authority has been dissolved. It will be replaced with a commission comprising over 18 members. The commission will be headed by a full-time chairperson of secretary rank or chief secretary rank bureaucrat. It will comprise of 5 state secretary level members from Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, along with the representative of Environment Secretary.
ये प्रभावी भी रहेगी और ये कारगर साबित होगी क्योंकि दिल्ली का प्रदूषण केवल एक राज्य के लिए सीमित नहीं है। ये एक एयर शेड है जिसमें हरियाणा का कुछ हिस्सा पंजाब का घटनाओं से भी परिणाम होता है, फिर उत्तर प्रदेश का कुछ हिस्सा, थोड़ा राजस्थान का भी परिणाम होता है। ये 17 मेंबर का बोर्ड रहेगा, 7 मेंबर फुल टाइमर्स रहेंगे और ये सब फील्ड में सभी प्रकार जो कारक है प्रदूषण के, जो रिस्पांसिबल फैक्टर्स है, उन पर कार्रवाई के आदेश दे सकते हैं।
The commission will also include experts and will have 3 subcommittees, one each for monitoring and identification, safeguarding and enforcement, and research and development. The commission will have the power to take mitigation measures, issue directions and orders suo motu, and entertain complaints under any other existing laws such as the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981 and the Environment Protection Act 1986. It is also empowered to prohibit activities that are likely to cause or increase air pollution in the NCR and adjoining areas. The Commission will also formulate parameters for air quality, emissions and discharge of environmental pollutants, including stubble burning, and monitor its adherence. It will also have powers to inspect sites and investigate as well as carry out researches relating to air pollution. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And moving on now, election to 10 Rajya Sabha seats from Uttar Pradesh is scheduled for November 9th. Tuesday was the last day for filing nominations when 8 BJP candidates filed their nomination papers. Here's a detailed report.
Among those seeking election to the Rajya Sabha are Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, BJP General Secretary Arun Singh and Neeraj Shekhar, the son of former Prime Minister late Chandrasekhar. Others who filed their Rajya Sabha nominations are retired Uttar Pradesh DGP Brijlal, who is considered close to former Chief Minister Kalyan Singh; B.L. Verma, the Chairman of the Social Welfare Construction Corporation; former State Minister Haridwar Dubey; former MLA Seema Dwivedi; and BJP District President of Auraiya Geeta Shakya. Professor Ram Gopal Yadav from the Samajwadi Party and Ramji Gautam from Bahujan Samaj Party had earlier filed their nomination papers. The candidature of Prakash Bajaj, which had been backed by the Samajwadi Party, has been cancelled, with some anomalies being cited in his nomination form. The notification for elections to 10 Rajya Sabha seats in Uttar Pradesh and 1 in Uttarakhand was issued on 20th October. Out of the 11 seats, 10 Rajya Sabha seats are in Uttar Pradesh and 1 in Uttarakhand. Polling and counting of votes will take place on 9th November from 5 p.m. onwards. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla will lead Indian parliamentary delegation to 206th session of Governing Council of Inter-Parliamentary Union from 1st to 4th of November 2020. It will be an extraordinary virtual session due to outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. The agenda of the virtual session includes the election of the new president of IPU through remote electronic secret ballot. The term of the new president of IPU will be from 2020 to 2023. There are 4 candidates in the fray for the election of IPU president. Prior to virtual session of the Governing Council, a virtual meeting of the Asia-Pacific Geopolitical Group of IPU, consisting of 36 nations, was organized on Friday. Rajya Sabha MP Swapan Dashgupta and Secretary General of Lok Sabha Snehata Srivastav attended the meeting. The Governing Council is main policy-making body of the IPU, which is mandated to elect the new president of IPU. Each member parliament of IPU is represented by 3 parliamentarians in Governing Council and accordingly has 3 votes, provided the delegation has both men and women. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV. And Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla on Tuesday virtually addressed a meeting of the 6th BRICS Parliamentary Forum, which was held on the theme BRICS Partnership in the Interest of Global Stability, General Safety and Innovative Growth's Parliamentary Dimension. Speaking on the occasion, Speaker Birla said that BRICS countries need to intensify their collective fight against terrorism, which poses the biggest threat to mankind. While addressing a meeting of the 6th BRICS Parliamentary Forum, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla on Tuesday said, as people's representatives, parliaments can no longer be silent bystanders and must unite to fight the challenges of terrorism and violent extremism. He emphasized on the need for a collective fight against terrorism by countries across the world. He emphasized that the funding of all terrorist activities must be stopped immediately and the conditions that are conducive to the spread of terrorism and violent extremism.
हमें आतंकवाद और हिंसक उग्रवाद जो मानव जाति के लिए सबसे बड़ा खतरा है के विरुद्ध संयुक्त संघर्ष को और मजबूत करना है। मेरे सहयोगियों, जनप्रतिनिधि और सांसद होने के नाते हम मूक दर्शक नहीं बने रह सकते। हमें आतंकवाद और हिंसक उग्रवाद की चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए एकजुट होना होगा। हमें सुनिश्चित करना होगा कि आतंकवाद की सभी गतिविधियों का वित्त पोषण समाप्त हो।
Talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, Speaker Birla said it has caused the tragic deaths of millions of innocent people, severe economic challenges and disruption of everyday life.
वर्तमान संकट ने समाज के एक बड़े वर्ग के जीवन और उसकी आजीविका के लिए खतरा पैदा कर दिया है। संयुक्त राष्ट्र सतत विकास लक्ष्य रिपोर्ट 2020 के अनुसार इस वर्ष लगभग 71 मिलियन लोगों के भीषण गरीबी से त्रस्त होने की संभावना है। ऐसी निराशाजनक स्थिति में हमें यह सुनिश्चित करना है कि इस वैश्विक महामारी के कारण सतत विकास लक्ष्य एजेंडा 2030 को प्राप्त करने के मार्ग में कोई संकट पैदा न हो।
Sharing India's experience and strategies to deal with the unprecedented COVID-19 crisis, Speaker Birla said that the government is implementing a multi-billion-dollar economic stimulus package to address the challenges posed by the pandemic and has quickly and successfully made cash transfers to vulnerable sections of the population. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV. Let's take a look at the parliamentary committees. So the Joint Committee on Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 held its meeting during the week. The committee is eliciting the views of various stakeholders on the bill. The Joint Committee on the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 held its meeting on Wednesday. Oral evidence by the representatives of Twitter and Amazon web series was on the agenda. The Joint Committee on the Personal Data Protection Bill also held a meeting on Thursday. Oral evidence by the representatives of Paytm and Google on the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 was on the agenda. The bill intends to regulate the processing or usage of individuals' data by the state and private entities. The bill seeks to provide for protection of personal data of individuals and establishes a data protection authority for the same. The bill also governs the processing of personal data by government, companies incorporated in India and foreign companies dealing with personal data of individuals in India. Personal data is data which pertains to characteristics, traits or attributes of identity which can be used to identify an individual. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV. And moving on now, the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament held its meeting on Tuesday. The committee is headed by Lok Sabha MP Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Here are the details.
The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament held its meeting on Tuesday. A memorandum regarding selection of additional subjects for examination by PAC was considered. Oral evidence of the representatives of Ministry of Finance on implementation of public financial management system was also on the agenda. The Public Accounts Committee is constituted every year under Rule 308 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha. The Public Accounts Committee consists of not more than 22 members, comprising of 15 members elected by Lok Sabha every year from amongst its members according to the principle of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and not more than 7 members of Rajya Sabha elected by the upper house. The members appointed from Rajya Sabha in PSC currently are Rajiv Chandrasekhar, Naresh Gujral, CM Ramesh, Sukhendu Shekhar Roy and Bhupendra Yadav. Members in the PSC from the lower house are Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Jayant Sinha, Ajay Mishra, Satyapal Singh, Subhash Chandra Baheria, Sudhir Gupta, Darshana Vikram Jardosh, Vishnu Dayal Ram, Jagdambika Pal, Ramkripal Yadav, T. Rajutevar, Bhartruhari Mehtab, Balashori Vallabha Neni, Rajiv Ranjan and Rahul Ramesh Shivale. The functions of the committee as enshrined in Rule 308(1) of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha include examination of accounts showing the appropriation of sums granted by Parliament for the expenditure of the Government of India, the annual finance accounts of the government and such other accounts laid before the House as the committee may think fit. If any money has been spent on any service during a financial year in excess of the amount granted by the House for that purpose, the committee shall examine with reference to the facts of each case the circumstances leading to such an excess and make such recommendation as it may deem fit. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Human Resource Development held its introductory meeting on Tuesday. Rajya Sabha MP Vinay Sahasrabudhe has been appointed as the chairman of this committee.
The Standing Committee on Human Resource Development 2020-21 held its first meeting on Tuesday. The committee considered the selection of subjects for examination during the year 2020-21. After the reconstitution of the committees, members on the HRD committee from the upper house are Arpita Ghosh, Bhuvaneshwar Kalita, Vishambhar Prasad Nishad, Dr. Sashmit Patra, Vinay Sahasrabudhe, Jyotiraditya Sindhya, Gopal Narayan Singh, Akhilesh Prasad Singh, M. Thambidurai and G.K. Vasan. Meanwhile, members from the lower house on the committee include Rajendra Agarwal, D.M. Kathir Anand, Dhal Singh Bishan, Santokh Singh Chaudhary, Lavu Shri Krishna Devarayalu, Jaydev Galla, Sangamlal Gupta, Sadashiv Kishan Lokhande, Jay Siddheshwar Shivacharya, Mahaswamiji, Asit Kumar Mal, Anubhav Mohanty, Balak Nath, Chandeshwar Prasad, T.N. Pratapan, Ratan Singh Magan Singh Rathore, Jagannath Sarkar, Vishnu Dutt Sharma, Arvind Kumar Sharma, Dharambir Singh, S. Venkateshan and Ashok Kumar Yadav. Ministries of Education, Women and Child Development and Youth Affairs and Sports fall within the purview of the HRD committee. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's birth anniversary was celebrated as the National Unity Day across the country on Saturday. Rashtriya Ekta Divas is celebrated to give a tribute to India's first Home Minister, who led the task of integrating princely states into the Union of India after independence in 1947.
Lok Sabha Secretary General Snehlata Srivastav and Lok Sabha Secretary Utpal Kumar Singh paid floral tributes at the portrait of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in Central Hall of Parliament House on the occasion of his birth anniversary. Among others who paid tributes to Sardar Patel included officers and members of staff of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha secretariats. The portrait of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was unveiled by the then President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, in the Central Hall of Parliament on 23rd of April 1958.
So that's all I had for you in this edition of Parliament This Week. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.